Let me see that 2-0. Alright, y'all, I'm back with y'all. I'm back with y'all weekly reading. I'm just fired up just from a reading that I had did. It's just funny. It wasn't funny though, but whew, we ain't bringing that energy over here for the week. So other than that though, we gonna see what's coming and see what y'all gotta deal with. Ugh. Knight of Swords is the first one that came out. Whew. We gonna see what else comes out. You got Ten of Swords here. Ace of Wands reverse. Then you got Six of Pentacles there. Six of Wands. The moon up under the 10 of... The moon is up under the... I need that up. Fuck that. I do. The moon is up under the 10 of Swords. Ooh. Then you got the Emperor. The number 3. 21. Ooh. 18 plus 3 is 21. Then you got the 4 of Cups. Not bad. 4. Can you see it? 4 Cups. Five of Cups. I just need me 3 more. 10 of Cups. Ooh, Lord. Page of Cups. God damn. And the 5 of Swords. We're going to get one for the overall mood. Ooh. Knight of Cups. Look at that, Scorpio. Alright, on the bottom of the deck, we got Queen of Cups, 7 of Cups, Ace of Swords, 2 of Pentacles, and a Page of Wands. And a Page of Wands. Wait a minute, this is how it was. Okay, look. This Page of Wands and this 2 of Pentacles, I think somebody's starting to recognize when it comes to this 4 of Swords energy, like when it comes to stress or situations. It could be, you hear me say, with just internal happiness. It could be pregnancy, though. It could be, you hear me say, pregnancy, though, like stress about these different types of matters, but I think somebody is starting to recognize when it comes to them and their happiness or situations, like problematic type behaviors and situations. I think people starting to recognize, like, going into situations half-cocked is really not working for them. Like, somebody needs to learn how to think clearly before they actually start doing certain things, because you got the Ace of Swords, you know, the unicorn, and then you have the 7 of Cups with the Queen of Cups. So this here is, like, you hear me say, somebody's possibly going backwards or towards the past or taking some sort of self-reflection to understand about certain things, to have clarity about their emotions, because you do got the Piscean energy up here, the moon. So it could be things that's hidden from you. It could be fears, it could be worries, it could be anxieties, or it just could be, you hear me say, just past like type things of doing the same things, you hear me say, over and over and over again. That's what it kind of does, gives me, though, especially when it comes to emotional type matters or matters of the heart. Back to the Knight of Swords. For me, you hear me say that is, especially with the Cups, this is like an emotional tyrant. So it's kind of like that my way or the highway when it comes to emotional type matters for somebody who feels like they always have the power in a situation, especially with the 6 of Pentacles and the 6 of Wands. It's kind of like, no, well, you need to see me, you need to understand me, like that energy. Like somebody always, it's like you never can have a moment. Like, it's just dysfunctional. It's kind of like if they're not happy, you're not happy. That's the energy it gives me, though. Like, when it comes to, they just, it could be possibly hard to talk to them in situations. Like, that's what it kind of gives me, though, because they always need their moment. Because you hear me say, this is the Knight of Cups. Like, this is that going to that. It could be situations, you hear me say, and they just gotta always have a moment, you hear me say, just to be happy and fulfilled. Like, it just gives me like top tier, lower vibrational Scorpio, manipulative ass type behaviors. Okay, so you got 10 of Swords, and it doesn't have to be a Scorpio. Somebody could act like that. You know how people demonize us but do the same shit behind closed doors. Alright, so anywho, this is the 10 of Cups. 10 of Swords. This is the 10 of Swords energy, you hear me say. You could be feeling like you losing a piece of yourself, like you hear me say, especially with all these feathers situations. You know how you see a bird. Have you ever seen a bird stressed? I really don't know. I just want to say that out loud. But you probably could feel like you losing feathers, because this is the Empress and this is the moon, though. No, it's this way. Was it this way? It was this way. Sorry, y'all. It was this way. Sorry. You see the moon and you see the empress. So it's kind of like you hear me say underneath the stress, like you hear me say, they say pressure makes diamonds. I think that's what it is, or whatever the case may be. Or that's possibly how you may feel about it or whatever. That's why I say it's kind of like pregnancy or situations with that. Hidden fears, anxiety, or just unwanted worry though, like expectations and just a sense of happiness. Like somebody feels tired, drained, but then with this Ten of Swords energy, that's what I said, somebody feel drained at the same time, talking, communicating, just worried, burdened. Like that's what it just kind of gives me though. Like woo. Then you got the Page of Cups here too. That's what I said. It's like like don't get me wrong. Somebody you hear me say is a little emotional manipulative. I just want to say that out loud. Like I just got to like it just gives me emotional manipulative as hell because with this Knight of Swords, it's kind of like it just gives me the person to where let's just say you got a friend and y'all two get into it and they go tell somebody else something, and in this form of to gain a form of sympathy. That's what it kind of gives me, to gain a form of sympathy. Like somebody's it's hard to believe what they say. You got Ace of Wands here, Four Cups, and the Five of Cups. So that's why I said it's kind of like that there. That's why I said somebody's like, ugh. Like, look at that. 5 minus 4 equals 1. That's why I say it's independently. Like, you hear me say somebody else is kind of like they're being stuck in their own way or stuck in their emotions in a sense. It's Five of Cups energy. You hear me say it's kind of like they're at a standstill. Or you could be with this person where you feel like it's fucking defeated. Like, some shit just needs to change. Like, you know, you just like, oh my God, some shit needs to change. I'm so sick of this, da-da-da-da. Like, that's why I said it gives me that. Like, it gives me, like, top tier Scorpio manipulative behavior, but it doesn't give me in a sense of a Scorpio. But it gives me somebody who, if it's not their way, they go off in this collecting form of, oh, we all gonna be miserable together, or whatever the case may be, or to get a form of attention. You got Six of Swords though. That's why I said it's kind of like hard to talk to them in situations, skilled in situations of the past instead of the present. Yep. 5 of Wands in the world. That's why I said this somebody you hear me say, look at that pouty face. Like, look at that. That's why I said this is somebody over time. Look at her just sitting there with a little pouty face. This is somebody over time, you hear me say, that needs to be seen. Like, they return back to certain antics or people or situations. Like, it could be, you hear me say, just as some people where you hear me say you're not happy, and then you just go back to old type behaviors or people or situations where you hear me say it just gets me emotional, manipulative, and abusive at that as well. It really does if you're dealing with somebody like that. It's kind of like they return back to old antics. You got King of Cups on the bottom of the deck. So somebody who is not very clear and knows how to, like, love or share it properly. So you could be talking, connecting, you hear me say, with an old lover or a situation or a person, maybe coming around just trying to use sex as a scapegoat to get back in with you, and you really know that this shit not going to work out. Yes. Sorry. I don't know who that was for, but... Queen of Wands and the King of Swords. That's why I said, yeah. Queen of Wands, and you hear me saying the King of Swords. I'm sorry, y'all. The Queen of Wands, you hear me say, and the King of Swords, though. It could be masculine and feminine energies, issues where you hear me say, like, somebody just, it's like a lack of trust. Somebody's emotionally manipulative and you just have to overly communicate to them, or it's like for them to feel sure. It just gives me, you hear me say, top tier insecurities, but the Empress is not right. It just gives me top tier insecurities. I am so sorry. It really does. Like, it really does. I'm sorry. Somebody's like very insecure, you hear me say, especially, and needs some form of communication always, or whatever the case may be. Like, it's a lack of space. That's what kind of gives me though. I'm telling you, with this here High Priestess on the bottom of the deck. You know, I'm just playing. Number 2. I'm not laughing at the situation. I'm not. 5 of Pentacles though. That's why I said it's kind of recuperating. Like, it's a one, like, this the thing. Like, when you're trying to get some form of help and you're working on you when it comes to healing, you can't go back and get everybody that wronged you. You got to be accountable to stand in the paint by yourself, because you got the 5 of Pentacles versus the 6 So it's kind of like that, just it's like leading back to one, and it's kind of like forcing somebody to change within themselves. Like it's kind of like you got to be the change that you want to see, but somebody has a problem with it, so they don't know how to stand on their own. So it's kind of like, well, no, you did this. Remember when you did this? Like that type of energy. It's kind of like, bitch, don't put me in this. Like that's the energy it gives you. It's like, don't put me in this. King of Swords, King of Cups. You hear me say, especially with that, like if it's a lover or a relationship, it's like, yeah, I said that. King of Pentacles. I mean, this is King of Cups. You hear me say down on the bottom, and then you have the Lovers and the Ace of Pentacles. Like you hear me say, this is somebody you hear me say trying to recuperate and comes to return backwards. It gives me emotionally manipulative, where you hear me say with a friends, and the 6 is reversed. So it's kind of like this person, it could be needing some sense of compassion or understanding, but at the same time, this is a battle that they're fighting within themselves. So that's why I said if it's an old lover, watch out for them, because somebody trying to come around just to knock you down, and then you just like, okay, it could be male or female, just to build some sort of commitment. You don't even know if they're in a relationship or not. Or it could be family, like you hear me say, family drama. Girl, let me tell you, that, you know, just calling you up and not looking for a sense of help or just to vent. It looks like, well, I'm finna bring you into this because I know it's gonna make you mad and you gonna say something about it. That's what it kind of gives me. When I said 9 of Cups, that's what it kind of gives me though. That type of energy. 7 of Wands though, you hear me saying that it's just, it's unclear. You hear me say when it comes to them, especially when they're making the decisions or trying to stand or know what it is that they want. That's why I said this person, they very wishy-washy. They wishy-washy. She fuck your partner. I'm playing. Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands on the bottom of the deck. You got, I said 7 of Pentacles again, and you have the 7 of Swords. 7 of Swords, that's why I said that Wheel of Fortune, this 7 of Pentacles, and this 7 of Cups. Somebody, you hear me say, is like definitely like going through a sense of, you gotta watch that though when you dealing with seasonal friends and seasonal relationships and people who have not talked to you. I think I keep saying this towards the COVID situation, like dealing with people that you know, like when you were down, they wasn't there. Not because like they had real life going on, but I'm talking about people who you used to hang with, but when you fell down, they was nowhere to be found. So now because you start going up or you start loving yourself just a little bit more, you're a little bit happy. Now it's like, cousin, like that type of energy to where somebody trying to connect with you over time because it's like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, oh, shit, I was just watching a reading. Oh, shit. They said this, though, but they posted this months ago, and I was like, yeah, this is what's going on in my life right now. Odd to say, but it's crazy, though. But it's that type of energy, though. It is. It really is, though. That's why I say you don't know exactly where they stand. That's why I said somebody's going through their own Wheel of Fortune, like these aggressive type time loops. So that's why I say, especially if you're in a relationship, though, watch that energy of talking to people who are always coming over there every time them and their lover break up, and then wonder why you and your lover break up. Nip that shit at the door, or whatever the case may be. Or it just could be people, you hear me saying, like, just, it's never just, hey, how you doing? It's just like, you just got in love, and then somebody come around you, or you like somebody. Yeah, you know, so-and-so just cheated on me. Bitch, don't kill me. Don't kill my vibe. You know what I'm talking about, like that. That's what it kind of gets me, though. Like, somebody who's, I'm telling you, it's like somebody knows how to, like, get the party revved up to the point to where it causes an emotional ruckus. Four Wands and a Queen of Pentacles. That's why I said, like, this is somebody, you hear me say, possibly over time, you possibly have tried to mend this sense of relationship or tried to work with someone or just try to make things go together at that type of moment. Or that's why I say it just gives me like somebody going behind somebody back. Like you hear me say with the person they revving up. Like look at the Queen of Pentacles and the Four of Wands. Like that's facing her backwards. That's what's just like somebody's going behind somebody back. Like say for instance like, you know, you got them dudes. It's like, oh, I seen your mama. I'm trying to check on you. Da da da. Bitch, don't talk to her. When we broke up, she is not your friend. Like, you know, the hell. Like that's that type of energy. It's like, leave, bitch. I'm sorry. Queen of Cups. That's what I said. No. Hermit energy. You hear me say that is all about the humbling. You You me say that blog post that I got, that's kind of like about a spiritual awakening, humanitarianism, learning how to look out for others, knowing how to give a little bit more, like being more in the room and not necessarily giving from a space of feeling you need to, just being rooted into self and going within to master self, like to give you the things that you need as well before you try to give it to others. That's why I said, I'm telling you, it's kind of like somebody just, oh, I think your mama. The Sun, the Four Cups, and the Page of Wands. That's why I said when it comes to emotional type matters, or a person getting within themselves or trying to discover or with them, it just gives me this. It's somebody young minded. Let me just say this: somebody's very young minded. I would say that though, like they really are how they go about certain things. Somebody could be like 23, something like that. I'm sorry, could be 23. But it's kind of like their behaviors or situations with them. It is, they're very stressful. Like they're stressed. It's like, and it's projecting. So that's why I said it's kind of like if somebody is in this energy of, I said Ace of Cups. It's kind of like, I'm telling you, it's like, maybe at one point you really like cared for this personal situation. And it's kind of like now it's that Eight of Pentacles and a Three of Pentacles. That's why I said maybe at one point, like somebody didn't appreciate what you had to offer, or for them, or in a situation. That's what it kind of gives me though. But it's kind of like somebody's like act. So maybe you're like at the no, I don't want no contact or communication or whatever. Especially with this Pages of Swords, the Nine of Pentacles. That's why I said the Ten of Wands and the Six of Cups. That's why I said this is like Two of Cups. Like, look at the energy, though. It doesn't look like a teamwork type partnership with this person. Could be challenges, though, but you know how people, when it gets to relationships or being in harmony or friends, like, we expect people to take on our baggage when that's not the way it's supposed to go. Like, so people get those things wrong. Also, with this Page of Swords, Nine of Pentacles, this Ten of Wands, and here, that's why I said this Ten of Wands upright, to me, it's like, even though it's burdensome, but it lets go. It's like setting fire to the flame. Like, eventually things will go. Like, don't fan the flames, because you don't know where the flames may go. But when it's this way, it's kind of like, how are you lighting it to the point to where she could burn herself within those situations? That's what it kind of just weird, because it can drop back on her. But with her, at any given moment, it's kind of like all she has to do is step backwards. But this way, she can't. So that's why I say it's kind of like, it could be a he or she, but it's just within those situations. That's why you hear me say somebody always. So I say it's somebody from the past or a situation, like they know how to get you stirred up. That's why I said it's a stirring up or connection or something, especially dearly to the heart. Like this is the Six of Cups energy. Maybe you felt like you saw a piece of you in them, or you felt so energetically connected. I don't know. This just gives me, I'm telling you, like, somebody who just trifling as hell. I'm sorry. Trifling as fucking hell. I tell you that. They really do give me that. Somebody who just know how to come around, get what they want, and they gone, and you never see their ass again. Just being honest. Hey. But then, too, I will say this, though, because a lot of people are going through certain changes. You hear me say not being able to do certain things that they want to do. While we're just piggybacking off the sense of relationship. Watch out for these. You hear me say, like, the inner narcissism within us, or narcissistic individuals. You hear me say, like, needing a form of attention. So it's kind of like they can cause any type of ruckus to get it, or not knowing like the emotional consequences for certain things that are happening, because you're just like looking for a sense of attention. That's like COVID energy, where you hear me explain this in several blogs, where you're kind of like, oh, well, I'm just bored, I'm going to go do this, or da-da-da-da, and then you opening up a gateway for people to feel like, oh, I can call on you, I can do this, I can do it, and you may not want that. So that's why I said just be very mindful of that energy. That's why I said be very mindful, because you got King of Wands, rooted and suited and booted. Alright, so let's go. That's why I said you got 10 of wands and a star. That's why I said maybe the lack of without connecting with this person at one point at a time, or just dealing with them. Like I feel like you don't have to give no attention or shed a light on certain things. Like this is like the energy of where it's kind of like, ooh, you know, like being at a point where you were so drained, or lack of understanding with this person or individual, or with things like you was like, ooh, maybe that gave you some form of clarity, because you hear me say you got Ace of Pentacles and the Magician. Ace of Pentacles, you hear me say Page of Wands, the Magician, and the Chariot. Like, it just gave you this. Like, you know how we look at manifestations or certain things, or like some assistance in things, like people fail to recognize, like, when you trying to manifest some form of help or personal situations, it's kind of like it's gonna feel like it's gonna have to fight through all these different types of things. That's what it kind of gave me, though. Like a situation, maybe it was financial assistance that you may have needed, or just a form of support or understanding, but you just recognize that it was like problematic with the actions. It was just, that's what it kind of gives me, though. Like with this personal situation at one point in time, it's kind of like you hear me say with the High Priestess that was upright. It's kind of like, you know, the behaviors of a person, but it's kind of like they just, I don't know. It's kind of like they always trying to team up or get you. That's why I said it's like they trying to get you. Like, I ain't gonna say they're trying to get you, because you could be like overly paranoid and take that the wrong way. But no, it's kind of like, I'm telling you, oh, I know you. I know you. You will get mad. You will say something. That's why I said the Death and the Nine of Cups. That's why I said that's that energy. It just gives me, like, I'm telling you, like I told you, then I said this gives me like Scorpio manipulative type behavior. Doesn't necessarily have to be a Scorpio, but it could be somebody that's operating in this form of energy. Like, you know how the negative bad reps that Scorpio get for being in their position, like this is their energy of somebody else. Like, they just stuck, don't know how to move on. They're possessive, you know, cling on type energy or whatever. Not knowing how to actually let things go, vengeful, that. That's what I said. That's what it kind of gives me, though. And this person try to get up under your skin. Nine of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles, Three of Wands, and the Seven of Wands. That's why I said, yeah, I think at this moment, that's why I said it's kind of like somebody had, that's what I say. It just gives me like somebody trying to return to come back to get, or some sort of interest, but it's kind of like, no. Somebody has made their type of mind when it comes to them and situations. It just feels like individually somebody going through like a lot. That's why I said, like, it could be financial type matters, love, interest, like you hear me say, the whole part of a spiritual awakening and ascension and understanding, or just like you with your God, creator, whatever's going on in your life. It's kind of like somebody's trying to get clearer, share fair boundaries or understanding within themselves. So it's like this seek out energy with others and situations. It's kind of like needing to put some type of foot down. I don't know why I'm saying that. The World, the Nine of Swords, the Four of Swords, and the Four of Cups. Back to the one. 9 minus 4 is 5, minus 4, which is 1. This is 1. That's why. So this has something to do with somebody else. And it's kind of like somebody else is trying to evolve or collect some form of resources, or just needing some help. Like, look at that, though. Like, you hear me say, this is just the dishes. You can take it. So it's kind of like somebody, you hear me say, at that moment is going through some things, needing some type of help. But it kind of, let me tell you something, I'm going to label this the boy who cried wolf. 4 wands and a 4 wands and a 10 of cups. That's why I said this is just this unhappiness, not knowing how to work with each other. The home front and the 10 of cups. I'm going to name this the boy who cried wolf. I really am, though. I'm surprised the hangman ain't jumped at this bitch. Let me tell you that. Because it just gives me like a family ongoing drama, or work, or life situation crisis, identity crisis, or just with self. That's what I say. This gonna be like the boy who cried wolf. Somebody who just constantly crying wolf over time. Like, and they can't. That's why I said, yeah, this somebody who cried wolf a little too much. 5 of Cups and the 8 of Wands. That's why I said somebody cried wolf a little too much. Like, ugh. Ace of Cups. That's why I said somebody cried a little. Like, it's like an emotional hoarder or a stacker. It kind of gives me like a rallying of the troops. That's what it kind of gives me, though, especially with this 2 of Cups energy. Like, somebody is very unappreciative. Like, it just gets me there. I'm telling you, with that Six of Cups energy, like, it's unappreciative. Like, somebody's very fucking unappreciative, though. Like, it's my way, or the highway. So it's kind of like, if even if it's matters of family matters or those type of situations, like, somebody loves to, it's the boy who cried wolf. So if this person really did need like a form, a sense of help, you don't know how to intentionally actually help them. 3 of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups. That's why I said it's like you don't know how. Like, they're like, it's a situation for them to learn on their own. Like, it's possibly what it was. Like, you ever say it's like that's possibly what it is that's needed. It's like you, I'm telling you, it's kind of like somebody that constantly like, oh, I'm in this, I'm in this, I'm in this, I'm in this, I'm in this. Like, somebody constantly, girl, my boyfriend doing this, girl, this, girl, it's just and it's like, how the fuck do I help you? Like, every time you reject it, or you get what you need and you go off. Like, that's the too impatient, like the impatient and being stubborn, but only want to come back when something is not there for you. So that's the energy it gives me. I don't know if it's like a lover or a friend or family, you hear me saying, a drama, or the home front that's going on. Like, this is somebody, you hear me say, that needs a group before it's them. So it's kind of like in the season, if they like withering away and they don't have the support that they need, and you off doing your thing and you kind of feel bad, it's kind of like, fuck them. Like, that's what I kind of get. I'm sorry, but fuck them. I'm sorry. And you may be distracted in this season. Like, it's so funny though, because don't go against the grain, because you may be the one that actually like be distracted. Page of Cups, 5 of Wands in reverse, and the 10 of Pentacles. That's why I say you may be distracted at this moment. That's why I said this is a person cry wolf. They're very dishonest about certain things or whatever. Like, it really does get me though. That's why I said it's kind of like at this moment, like, you may be in a distract, like, you, it may be something that's occupying your time to where you can't give it to this person. So it's kind of like that's the lesson within itself. But if it's like the constantly weighing down, it's kind of like, what? Like, that's when I feel like you going to get thrown off your path. That's why I said it's somebody who cried wolf. And it's like over time you've tried to help them so much. And it's kind of like it serves no purpose. Like, I'm not saying it serves no purpose, but it's kind of like the way you are set up. If it's a, I don't want to say a spouse because it's kind of hard though. But, whew. Because sometimes your spouses do rely on you a little too much when it comes to emotional matters, or it's like, you need to go see a counselor, okay? But that's why I said you got the Strength and the Empress. This is this here. That's why I said this is here. And I said somebody got to build this within themselves. Like, honestly, though, like, somebody has to, I say somebody's a little insecure. Somebody's a little bit codependent. Somebody's more reliant. And it's kind of like, I believe, like, it's kind of like, if it's a lover in a relationship, it's kind of like, you got to be like, I believe in you. You got to, like, go. Like, not go, like, as in breaking up, but it's kind of like, you got to go. Like, find what makes you happy. Or do the things you need to do. It's like, you too time consuming. It's kind of like, I can't be the security blanket for you. You have to be there for yourself. That's why I said it kind of gives me that though. That's what I said. If you at this moment where you're occupied with something or someone, that's why I said this is like, ugh. That's why I said, like, look at that. That's Capricorn type energy. This is somebody that's like constantly in control. Like, you don't even know how you're being emotionally controlled by them. I'm saying, like, that's like, when you under somebody's thumb, when you emotionally being blackmailed or just like emotionally controlled by them, that's like the hardest one to shake. I'm telling you, like, you know how like they talk about Stockholm syndrome? This shit here, this like top tier toxic relationships. Like, we don't talk about that though. King of Swords reverse. That's why I say it's very illogical. Like, you don't even know. Like, that shit's so harder to break when you so mentally and emotionally accustomed to a person, where you in that victim mind frame and trapped in that cycle. Whoo, that shit harder to break. I'm telling you, like, that's a mental stronghold. It is, because you don't never know when you should walk away or when the fuck you should go. Ace of Swords, that's why I said it's kind of like, I'm coming out, dun, dun. I want the world to know that this girl's so ho. That's my theme song. Ugh, shit. Tower, Wheel of Fortune, Six of Wands, Five of Swords, and the Temperance in reverse. I think that's for some of y'all, like, you at the point where you avoiding trying to make those harsh decisions and returning back to a space of constantly trying to defend you or your need or understanding with self. So it's kind of like you may have went through something that somebody else went through, or you understand it, but at this time it's kind of like y'all are on two separate pages, to where it's kind of like it's not even like in your wheelhouse or in your alignment. Like, that's the whole idea. That's why I said it's kind of like, yeah, I'm saying it gives me the boy who cried wolf. Like, it really does. But if it's a form of a relationship, somebody's a little bit emotionally controlling. That's what I say. Like, they know how to, like, get her going. Like, get her done. Like, that's what I'm sorry, y'all. They know how to get you going. That's all I know how to say. They really do. Somebody's emotional, fair share, very emotionally manipulative. Two of Cups. That's why I said, yeah. That's why I said this type. Like, I'm telling you, like, didn't I say this, like, was it in the karmic or whichever one? But anywho, because we're finna wrap this up. I said this, like, 2-some weeks ago. What did I say? Y'all, what did I say? I said you gotta watch that with men. Like, you hear me say, y'all, make up the breakup and all the shit that you need him to do in a relationship, or you're thriving, or male or female, and you're thriving, and this particular person comes along and trying to feed you. Oh, I love you. I'm this, I'm this, I'm this. But you could never get that. It's kind of like when it comes to them and their independence, it seems like they're very selfish and they get what they fucking want. But when it comes to you, you can never take time for you. That's a fucking distraction. Like, that person doesn't need to be in your life. So now, because you're so easily been distracted by people or situations or thing, it's kind of like whatever in life. Like, if you get like this lifeline to where it's like, oh, well, let me take your ass to work. You want some overtime? And you just like, okay. Or you don't want to, like, it says like you just, okay. And that's what it is, to keep you busy from taking on this. Because the minute you do, you going back down the cycle. That's why I said Two of Cups. Two of Pentacles. That's why I said it's like, it's up and down, it's up and down. It's kind of like maybe you don't think clearly when you operate with this person or situation. It could be friends, though. That's why I said. And it's like hair front, roles reverse. Like, it's kind of like now you get to actually build and feel the sense of independence. So that's what it is. So especially if you're trying to get in a relationship or trying to heal or fix, like, this person has to learn how to be independently with them fucking selves before they try to come back into the relationship and heal. It's kind of like, no. You hear me say the high priestess, like, they got to learn to go within themselves and seek divinity, or it's just like higherness or higher conscious. Kind of like, no. Go fix your fucking self. Leave me alone. If I want to date or whatever I choose to do, if we are not in a committed sense of whatever case may be, if you want to go to a counselor, if you need to go see a shaman, go do that shit. But stop relying on me. I'm telling you, like, that's what it kind of gets me, though. Like, whew, I'm telling you, like, somebody's a little pissed. Like, I feel it. Yeah, that's why I said somebody's a little pissed. Like, y'all, someone or somebody, like, has been holding something in or holding on to something, though. Like, you really have. You've been holding in or holding on to something to the point where you just like, well, I got to keep it together, that type of energy. So that's why I say it's probably like the juggling act, where somebody like, okay, hold this. Like, you the friend in the club, and they like give you the purse. So you hold it, and you like, okay, all right. And then something's bound to fucking fall. And it's kind of like, when the fuck, like, leave me the fuck alone. Like, that's what it is. Like, you gonna have to tell somebody, leave me the fuck alone. Hangman didn't come out reverse, so that's shocking. But that means you finally caught on. So I'm like, okay, all right. I see y'all. Okay, all right. But don't be disillusioned. I tell you this, so don't be, because this person, I'm telling you, like, they know how to get you. It's kind of like you emotionally bound to someone, so they know how to send you that text, probably say you ate, you know, you smoke, you drink, let me cash app you. Yo, this is so petty. That's why I said, like, I'm telling you, like, this person know how to get you. I'm not laughing because of that, but this is the Eight of Cups. So I'm gonna go in this, like, emotionally walking away. That's why I said this is somebody who knows how to get you, though. like number 15 is all about independence, freedoms, and a sense of creativity. And I think for you at this point where you ready, like emotionally, you have stacked, you have learned, and you at this point where you ready to move on. Even if it's not ending the relationship, but you just like, oh, I'm so sick of your ass, like constantly getting into these positions. Could you please do something about it? To where like if you're more the one to where you don't say nothing, I could see you snapping the fuck off with no regards of how the fuck they feel. And it doesn't give me in a brutal type manner, but it's gonna be like, okay, let me tell you something, because you know how you always complain about this, and that energy to where it's giving it to them, and they're gonna be like, and if they get mad and they emotionally walk away, it's kind of like, oh well, I don't care. But that's what it kind of gives me though. That's why I said, yeah, this Queen of Wands. That's why I said somebody's a little bit too much. Like they are, but you're gonna be like, let me tell you something. It don't give me in a brutal type sense. I'm telling you, it don't. It don't. But it's like if it's in the spirit of the scorpionic type energy, just know they've been paying attention to you for a long time, and they're gonna call out all your fucking shit. And you getting on their nerves, I'm telling you. So that's why I said it's kind of like somebody's aggravating them. So that's why I said it's like aggravating. That's why I said it's 6 of Wands. Somebody don't see it, like the people or situations that they around. Somebody could have like, ooh, I lied. Queen of Swords. I said it. It's gonna be though. I said somebody's gonna cuss them out or say something very mean, because it could be the friends or situations, people or things that they around, and it's kind of like they don't even fucking pay attention. So this Queen of Swords, or you as a person, you kind of like, I'm sick of this shit. I'm trying to fix this shit. Like with this king of cups and this 6 of cups, if you're in a relationship with a partner in a relationship and you don't like them at this point, you need to recognize it may be some childhood trauma that's tethered to this personal situation that's making you, like snap the fuck off. Like it is though. That's what it kind of gives me though. Or if it ain't got something to do with that, it's kind of like the need to be seen of attentive type wise, where you don't recognize it or whatever, where you kind of like emotionally detached. But I'm telling you, it's kind of like you finna snap the fuck off on somebody. Like, it really do. It's like you finna snap the fuck off. And it goes back to the cups. Like, somebody gonna be like, okay. And you gonna have to stand your ground. Because somebody knows how to emotionally manipulate you. Period. So, on that note, this week I ain't got shit else to say. I think when my cards get here tomorrow, I'm gonna do, like, the group collective love readings. Like, just for that. Because I like them, though. They seem, like, very positive or whatever the case may be. Not this straightforward, blunt ass shit. So, I'm gonna get off over here. Because I'm finna go do a reading for the other people. So other than that, though, that's why I said, ooh, just pay attention. That's why I said, if you busy and it's just constantly stacking on certain things, this season, and you doing certain stuff, like that's probably like divine trying to throw you something. You just like, oh, but I'm so tired. And it's like, well, I'm giving you this, and not necessarily going out and pick up something. If it's just natural coming, it's just like, okay, well, you finna have that dog ass ex come back, or you finna come have this person come do this. Didn't you say you want to go to school? Didn't you say you want to do, like that type of energy? It's like, didn't you say you want to do this? Let's get you over here. Like it's kind of like a push to get you in the direction you need to go, because it's kind of like this person or situation, they constantly cry wolf, and it's aggravating as hell, and I feel like you finna snap the fuck off on them because they have no boundaries. So on a note, you guys, that's it. And that's it. So be very mindful though. I'm telling you, of the energy within self and with others. That's why I said I feel it's either gonna be a parent, a spouse, baby daddy, baby mama situation, something like that. I'm saying it's gonna hit on those. It's gonna be a baby daddy or baby mama. Doesn't give me work related, or it's gonna be a parent. So other than that though, watch out. So remember, tact, tone, gesture, and point.